Alright. Hi, you guys. My name is Oshun the Great, and welcome to my beautiful YouTube channel. Okay, so this was requested by a lovely subscriber. I really should have looked up the name beforehand, but today is going to be about magic. I don't really get to talk about magic that much, partly because I've just now stepped into my power of being a magician, or there's so many labels for this stuff. So some people do call it witches, shamans, healers, whatever the case is. There's so many labels. Um, but I touched in a video recently that magic is our birthright. So much like how we have tarot card went under the bed, how we have psychic gifts, third eye, opening it, seeing visions, feeling empathy or feeling feelings of others, telepathy. You know, all of these aren't coincidences. It's we aren't just mere human beings like we've been taught in our society a lot of times. And with that being said, we have gifts for a reason. It's meant to use them. Now, to each his own of how they use the gifts. You know, is everyone pretty much chooses to use their gifts in whatever way they like. um, but so it's up to you. Once you understand that magic is your birthright, you decide. Like, sorry, I just ate pizza. Okay, so you decide what you want to use your magic for. All right, so with that being said, I don't feel like there's any right or wrong way to do magic. You just have to do what's natural to you. A lot of times when you're starting out magic or Wiccan or whatever, you don't even have to, in order to do magic, you don't have to be a part of any religion or any occult kind of thing. You can just do it based on how you feel, which I do intuitively. Understand that since magic is our birthright, a lot of it is just natural. Understand that you work with your ancestors on a daily basis, and sometimes you do magic without realizing it. But it's better to consciously choose to use your magic because, much like the spiritual realm and learning how to channel your angels and guides, it can help us. So can your magic. Because being much like an alchemist, it can help you maneuver energies, turn them around, and use them to work in your favor, turn negative to positive, things like that. So that's what magic can be used to do. Even in manifesting, we do magic in the simplest things, building a dream board, trying to manifest our homes, trying to manifest a new job, you know, but consciously choosing to actually use tools, whether it's tarot cards, crystals, this little baggy thing that I'm going to tell you guys. Hello. To make. I'm just going to tell you some simple ways that I use magic. And unfortunately, I don't have all the tools that I usually use, but I'll touch on a few ways that you can use magic in your life to enhance abundance. And a lot of you guys know that I took on the name Oshun. Oshun, the deity of creativity, sweet water, luxury. She loves magic. She was known as actually the overseer of witches or something of that nature. A lot of people even have a religion under her called Santeria. But okay, so some things that I'll teach you guys that I do under Santeria are Oshun, and you can pick any goddess you like to do magic under, or any religion or no religion. But I'll tell you a few ways, and you can take this as an example or lay out to do your own magic and start implementing it to your life to bring abundance, love, joy, whatever. All right, so some of the few things that I like to do is obviously working with crystals are the easiest thing you can ever do. These are only a few that I have now. But basically, how you can use crystals is in a lot of ways. The first way that some of the magic that I like to do is candle magic, because one of the main things that I like to do with candles, and obviously each candle color has its own meeting, but candles I like to use to release negative energy. So you can do this with bonfires too, but fire is a very powerful spell for anything that you're trying to either get a message across to your angels in the spiritual realm, or you can pretty much use spells like write. Basically, you will write a letter of all the things that bother you, or if you feel like you're under a curse or some kind of spell from someone, you would write it all on the paper and burn it. And that's the main thing that I like to do whenever I feel overwhelmed or feel like people are putting a negative energy on me, things like that. Something that I recently learned too is that if you are ever under a curse per se, is writing the person's name backward on a sheet of paper and burning it too. So simple stuff like that. Something that you can always keep on you too for protection is salt. And this is something that if you are getting into your magic, is you have to start. You can get like a little baggie like this, a little magic bag, to keep all your favorite herbs. And what I do is I keep salt in here, and that's for protection. I put actually a few things in here for protection, and I just wear it on me on a daily basis. There are also so salt is something good to put on you, or to even put around your house for protection. That's simple magic, the basic magic 101. Even warding off negative spirits, sage, basic magic 101. So I always keep sage usually. I even put my favorite crystals in little baggies like this. And what this is this gives you a sense of security too, like keeping your favorite things on you, almost like making yourself an altar. So even putting everything can be magic, you guys. So putting your favorite jewelry on, you can invoke spells into objects just by intent. And so imagine, for example, um and this is all of belief, how much you believe in things, and how you manipulate and maneuver energy is basically understand that, for example, you think that love flows from your palms of your hands, you can put that in objects. Or if you want to invoke protection, you shift that energy into yourself, and focus on uh, putting that energy into something that you wear, things of that nature. um, what else? Garlic is a perfect one for protection too, that I put in here along with salt. Hello, you guys. I don't mean to ignore you. I'm just explaining some things that I do with magic lately. I also like to write protection spells and put in here, or when you work with channeling spirit, because spirit is a good advisor of how to do magic. You pick whoever you want to work with. So for me, it's Oshun or Marilyn Monroe, whoever. And a lot of times they'll either give you rhymes or spells to write, or you basically make up one for yourself. And I like to put it in my little protection baggies. Oh, actually, that's a good question. Hold on. I actually just got a book called Basic Witches, and this is so fitting. But this is like a modern, new school version of. I know people still have a stigma with witches, so it's still pretty much people freak out with it. But this is really modern. It says basic witches, how to summon success, banish drama, and raise hell with your coven. So if you are starting out, this is a good book, especially on feminism and patriarchy, because it touches on how a lot of women who always win against society just by saying no or exercising their choice of just freedom in general were always like burned and just disowned by society and shit. So it touches on a lot of that. But this is a good book when you're first starting out, if you don't know where to start. But also a lot of intuitive magic is important. And then I read this lately. You are a badass. How to stop doubting your greatness and start living an awesome life. So I say alchemist. Yeah. When spirit talks to you, does it sound like your voice? Oh, that's a good one. To be honest, I don't know why I feel like, when you have those like movie voices or some shit in your head. But it sounds like, oh, that's a good question. I never thought of like how it sounds. It's just so natural to me now. Um, I guess it seems similar to my voice, but more distant, if that makes sense. It's a good question. But what I was saying, so making a magic baggie though is very helpful of all your favorite things. So like crystals, herbs. So let's go over a few herbs that are have magical uses. Cinnamon. Cinnamon usually has to do with if you want to make spells around people, make them nicer to you or sweeter to you if they're always negative. Also, honey can be used like doing spells, like writing spells out on a paper. And one of the, this is a stupid, it's not stupid, but this is one of the easiest spells I did if you feel like someone's being mean to you, for example. You put it, you get a little Ziploc bag, you write out, you know, who the person is, how they're treating you, put it, fold it up, put it in the baggie, and then put honey all over the paper. And usually you have to either, I guess, bury, I read this somewhere, bury this, you know, the baggie, and don't dig it back up, basically. And then it's supposedly the longer that it's buried and stuff like that, it's supposed to work. But all this again is belief and your intent and things of that nature. But honey is a good spell for rituals because it just has to do with sweetening stuff. You can also do that, kind of use it in abundance spells, but mostly love spells. Work with honey and cinnamon. What else? What else? Garlic, again, protection. Salt, protection. Basil. I used to put basil in my little, I had two of these. Basil, it attracts money. So money spells are cool. Honestly, I use a lot of basic things like paper, writing spells, candle, and needle and thread is good in spells as far as like binding stuff, or let's say you want to bind curses or negative people and energies around you. You would either write it and then try to like sew through it. Just simple stuff like that. All this, some of this is just really intuitive, you guys. So you have to listen to yourself and like how you want to use things. Let's see. Love spells kind of work by kind of enhancing love in your life where you feel like it's lacking. So even in a sense of if you feel like someone's just dogging you out, just being mean to you and focusing heavily on your energy. So let's say the evil eye or jealousy, you can kind of use it to either divert someone's energy or help you live through the hell that they're putting you through by putting a love spell on them. I feel like I'm getting channeling art. But you can also call in someone specifically, but I'm still kind of worried about that because I'm kind of seeing where the line is with like free will and things of that nature. I think a lot of spells you can put intent into people and they get to do what they please with it. So like, oh, you know, kind of like you can even do intent spells of like telepathy where, oh, text me, stuff like that. And then if, you know, kind of suggest to people, okay, you know, I'm thinking about you and trying to get their attention type shit. But you can't really, I wouldn't say force force people to do shit. Hexes, I kind of stay away from shit like that because mostly because people always say, oh, it backfires and negative magic is bad and shit like that. But remember, magic is our birthright, and to each his own. It's whoever wants to use it, however which way. And it really just depends on your soul and what you feel like you're down with and what you feel like you wouldn't be down with. And understand that all spells, like you can even use spells for boundaries though. So setting boundaries in the sense of if someone's, a lot of times, especially women, especially me being raised being a nice girl, a lot of people use me as a doormat. So a lot of spells you even think that are bad is not bad per se, because if people are walking all over you, you need to use spells to even set a boundary between you and those people who are causing harm to you or trying to bind someone's magic that is causing you stress and despair. I feel like that's different. So yeah, it's like it's the difference between putting someone in check because they harmed you and just wreaking havoc just because. But yeah, a lot of it is just very basic because in magic is literally in everything. You can be literally the love spell yourself. You can be the wand yourself. You don't necessarily need tools. Your words in itself have magic. So if you can literally rewrite your DNA by saying, you know, if you're depressive or let's say, how can I say this? If you're dealing with a trauma, for example, you can be like, I free myself of this trauma, this pain. Never let it bother me again. And blessed be, blessed be, blessed be. So you can rewrite your DNA in a sense. And someone told me you can do as many spells as you want on yourself. And this is as simple as that. And a lot of things I like to do is by just making what you want tangible. So your desires, let's say you want to be a millionaire. You do a lot, again, a lot of things we do magic in and we don't understand. So Jim Carrey, he wrote himself a check, you know, stuff like that. I write myself fake checks all the time. You don't have to worry about the how. But a lot of this is about intent. So I like to make things tangible or have objects to represent what it is that I'm trying to bring in, and it helps. Because every time you look at it or every time you deal with that object, you're manifesting more of it into your life. Something little stuff too that I realize have magic in it and invokes certain spirits is when I told you guys how to channel Marilyn Monroe, wear red lipstick, stuff like that. If you want everything you touch to turn into financial abundance, wear green polish. So it's like color. It's crazy. It gets really. It's like a science behind a lot of magic because it's from the colors you wear. Because that's how I stay so in tune with Oshun. From what you wear physically, from how you present yourself, all of this is magic. So, but you have to become more consciously aware of how you're using your magic on a daily basis. From the words you speak, from the words you think, from what you say to others, for how you present yourself, or all of this, you know, all of this comes into play. I keep thinking of someone the whole time, you guys. That's why I'm like, I have to figure out what to do with this energy. But yeah, so with that being said, this is getting pretty long too. So this is just like a one-on-one introduction to rituals with Oshun. Hopefully one day I can actually show you guys physical rituals when I have all the objects, but I'm a wanderer. I've been pretty much hopping from place to place. But so something that you can do with with crystals and candles, one of the things I like to do is surround yourself in a circle and literally just meditate. It's kind of like forms a force field around you, and what it does is protects you from the outside world, from any disturbances, and always pretty much gets you in tune and elevates you to get in touch with your higher self. Something else is just keeping crystals on you. You can even do circles with salt. If you feel like you want to keep spirits away, put salt around your bed. Sleep with crystals under your pillow. A lot of this is magic. Even before you eat or drink anything, you pray over it. So many ways. But yeah, as always, be dope, be unapologetically. Peace.